have any comments, changes that they'd like to make?
I do not.
All right, well then we should have a motion to approve as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, moving on. Okay, Carol has a report for us now.
Yes, it's trying to keep everything to a slim read. I think about the days when I was drafting pages and pages. The good news is it's a slim read because we're heading in the right direction for sure. So I just real quick update. We've got 11. We at least have 2 new voucher holders. We have 2 new voucher holders leased up, which is pretty cool in March. And we have another 11 that are out there, whether they ported out and haven't leased up or they're still looking in Fairfield. But we have 11 more folks, hopefully we will have housed one way or the other. And, I think the goal, at least initially for our Section 8 program and getting, the additional funds was to lease up at least 20 to 25 new families. So, right now, obviously the rental market has to cooperate and, things are slower just because of the pandemic. But the good news is I think, by the end of this year, I hope to have at least 20 more families or individuals served from the program, if not more. So I'm really happy that Trish Henry, who heads up Millennium, and I know Peggy gets a lot of calls and provides a lot of guidance because folks calling in call the Housing Authority. Yeah. So, I think we're totally on track to, be serving a significant amount of more vouchers. And I can't tell you, I don't think since I've been here, certainly, that we've ever been in a position where we could lease up 20 new families. So this is just wonderful, wonderful news for the program and, obviously for the mission of the Housing Authority.
Excellent. Good news.
And then the other thing is trefoil refi. Believe it or not, the HUD application for the refi for trefoil was submitted by Rockport to HUD yesterday. So we are officially on the radar screen at HUD. Now, how long it's going to take the review and all that kind of stuff really goes and speaks to, right, the resources that HUD has available. Many people are refining with HUD instruments right now. So they are being bombarded. But, it really comes down to how clear and concise the application is, because if they have a bunch of questions, it only slows the processing of the application down. The lovely thing, though, about this program is once HUD has approved it, you get a commitment letter, your rate is locked in, and then you're typically closed, within a 30 to 60 day period. So once it gets through the application, you actually get the commitment from HUD. It moves much more quickly and hopefully smoothly. So, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, cautiously optimistic that we could have a completed refi by July 1st. So I'm going to hang on to that and root for July 1st. So please join me in that.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, well, it's, April, May, June, we get the commitment in June, we could be, closing by July 1. That is at least my goal. And then the last thing, and I know Jerry's joined us, so this is a Fairfield Housing Corp thing as well, is we are meeting this Thursday with staff at Greenfield Commons, which is that small 10-unit elderly, right next to it used to be the Villa Avenue Car Wash. I mean, I'm totally dating myself because I don't think it's been called the Villa Avenue Car Wash in like 30 or 40 years, but it's still a car wash. So whatever they're calling it, we're really right next to it. So that we're going to get an orientation on Thursday. It's going to be myself, obviously, Peggy, and our Millennium staff. And we're going to meet up with the Greenfield Commons staff. And we're going to get an orientation about where everything is located and the building systems. And so, it's only 10 units and, we'll get a vendor list of their current contracts. The one thing, though, that I will need some help from Rita, Carol, and Jerry is, you know, there's an existing, you know, their existing banking is done with Fairfield County Bank, which, you know, we have used over the years. And full disclosure, the Westport Housing Authority has used over the years as well. And, you know, they're conveniently located. So the only thing we're going to have to do is transfer the signature cards and transfer the, you know, the checkbook and everything over to us. So I might be asking for some help. You know, we'll need signature cards. I'm guessing I'm going to have to gather them, which I'm happy to do. You know, the manager down at the Tunxus Hill, you know, at the foot of Tunxus Hill in the Stop and Shop parking lot, those folks have been fabulous anytime I've gone in there to work with them. So I'll round up all the signature cards, and then I'm thinking, you know, we all probably should be signatories in case yours truly is not around or gets hit by that proverbial bus along Tunxus Hill. We'll have other people that can sign the checks. So anyway, I'll work out the logistics. I just wanted to give you a heads up. I may need you, and I think you folks remember when we transferred our housing choice voucher program over to TD Bank. You know, each bank has its own sort of protocol, but I know they're going to require an original ink signature. I know they're not going to accept an electronic or a PDF. So we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. And so that's really, you know, really my report is not as exciting as Peggy's, because Peggy's report deals with the virus and the rollout of the vaccine. And that obviously is something that's critical to our mission as well.
Right, so we'll go right over to Peggy now.
Oh, well, as Carol said, our focus this month has been on making sure everyone's aware of the vaccine. And I'm very happy to report, and a little bit to my surprise, on all the residents I called, they were right on top of it. I said, I just, so-and-so, I want to make sure, you have know about the vaccine. And they're like, we've already had our first vaccine. Like, wow. So, everyone was really willing to, participate and to get the vaccine. Even some of our residents that had no transportation, who I was checking with, I was concerned, how would they get there? They were like, oh, my neighbor already brought me for my vaccine. So, everyone seems to be following through, and we'll, keep checking on them and seeing that, they've gotten the second dose, but they've gone to, I asked them, where were you getting the vaccine? And they said a lot were at Mona Terrace. Some were at their local, like Southwest Community Health Center, and some at the pharmacy. So, I mean, I'm excited. No one said no, they're refusing to get it yet. So we'll keep pushing them, but I was very happy that everyone seems to be following through.
Peggy, I have a question, Peggy. Yes, I accompanied a friend to the Bigelow Center for her vaccine, and all the chairs there were folding chairs with no arm, and she couldn't use it. I sent Sands Cleary an email, and I said, Sands, what's going on? You need to have chairs with arms. And I haven't heard anything. Have any of our residents had issues with that?
No one's mentioned it, but I think that's a very good point, Rita. I'll give a call to Julie, from the senior center tomorrow.
I copied the senior center. Yeah. I copied the senior center on my email to Sands, because I've known him for ages, since the Casimir days. I thought that was just really, and a lot of them are old and infirm and obese. They can't sit in those chairs.
Right. The only thing I could think of is perhaps they wipe them down, or, for cleaning, purposes, they wipe them down, and that's easier to do. But I think it's a good point, because you're right. They are hard. I barely get up and down from a folding chair. So you're right.
I had to take her with, her rollator. She can't get it in and out of the car.
Right.
So I was there only to move the rollator so she could go in and have something to sit on.
Right. Well, I think it's a good point, Rita. I'll definitely follow through with Julie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Peggy, you had some more with remote energy assistance?
No, I'm just saying people are finishing up. I think you can sign up for energy assistance until April or May. So most of our residents have followed through, but those that are still needing some things faxed or sent over, we're taking care of that for them.
Okay, that's great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone have any questions for Peggy or Carol? If not, we'll adjourn to go into executive session. I always forget. Do we have to vote? Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll move that we go into executive session for litigation and real estate purposes.
Second, all in favor? Okay.
Aye.
Jerry.
Bye.
Hi, Jerry.
Hi,
Carol,
Jerry.
how'd your vaccine go?
Good.
You got it today?
I'm still standing.
All right.
Listen,
Great.
one moment before anybody leaves. My neighbor's granddaughter is a nurse, and she said after the second vaccine, you should drink something called Pedialyte because it takes away that awful exhaustion that you had, Carol, that I certainly did. I slept the whole next day after number 2 because it builds up the electrolytes. So anybody who hasn't had the second one, pick up that Pedialyte.
Well, there's Pedialyte and there's Gatorade, right? Isn't that about the same kind
Right.
of?
I don't know. Gatorade's too sweet for me. Ugh.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. Yeah, I
okay.
don't like any of it, but good point.
Good
Okay,
information.
everybody.
Thanks, Jerry.
Bye, Jerry.
Well.
Bye, Jerry.
Bye, Jerry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
We are back in regular session now, and I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor. So we're adjourning
Aye.
at 35, it looks like, if I can see my watch clearly here.
Yeah.
And our next meeting, I believe, is going to be April
In person.